Common fire advice is this: you need $1 million to retire. Well, what if that wasn't the case? And today I'm going to show you a strategy that can produce you an income that you never knew even existed. What's up, Premium Chasers? Every single person that comments down below is going to get a free retirement strategy guide, the 5 income streams that I plan on using to retire early. So if you want that ebook and one pager, make sure you drop a comment and make sure, of course, you hit the like button and that subscribe button. But guys, I'm going to say a bad word right now. And I know a lot of you are going to run away and click off because I get in a lot of arguments with people on TikTok and social media. And some of you guys, listen, I'm going to show you guys a strategy right now that can produce you an incredible extra income for yourself, especially for those of you that want to retire early. You want to be financially independent. You're following the FIRE strategy. And a lot of those things, listen, as great as it is to obviously be putting money to the side and you know, hit your retirement goals, most of those things require you to live extremely frugally and not really help you actually produce a real income for yourself. And I'm going to show you that today, but I have to say this bad word real quick, and this involves options trading. I know, listen, bear with me. Listen, I'm going to ask for about 10-15 minutes of your time right now. And then at the end of the video, if you still think I'm nuts, you can 100% let me know in the comments. So I'm going to show you an option strategy right now that does not require you to sit in front of the screens all day, being a day trader or a gambler or an options buyer. Okay. So give me that. All right. Can we at least make a little bit of a virtual agreement here? Because I'm going to show you a strategy you've never heard about. Okay. I can almost bet you, if you are somebody that's doing FIRE or retire early strategies, all that stuff, you have not heard about this. You're focused on the wrong things, guys. Listen, you are focused on saving money. It is easier, right? It is easier to make more money than save more money. I'm telling you right now, listen, I'm telling you, and I'm going to show you how you can actually start producing an income for yourself using what you already have, right? So if you already have some money set aside, right, you're going to be able to produce that an income from that with options. Okay. So let's go over the shoulder. I'm going to show high level overview first of how this whole thing works. And then we're going to dive in a little bit deeper. Okay. So what does this strategy involve? Well, this strategy involves us purchasing stocks at prices we choose and get paid income upfront for saying maybe. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm just going to go quickly and show you. I'm just going to go over here. I'm going to click sell, put, and I'm just going to go out 7 days, right? 7 days that basically, and I will cover that all in a second, but I'm going to show you what I'm saying. Right now, SPY, which tracks the S&P 500, is trading at $525. If we say we're willing to buy it, right, for $515, right, currently trading at $525, and we're saying in 7 days, if it drops to $515, we would collect $445, we'll say, because it keeps fluctuating, into your brokerage account immediately. You will collect that income up front immediately. That would be yours. You'd be taking that. You could go deposit it. You can reinvest it. You can buy yourself something nice, right? I don't recommend that, right? Reinvest it, right? Build wealth, build income, retire sooner than later, right? And I'm going to show you the kind of like the returns on this stuff as well. Okay, full circle. Pete, okay? I got your attention. Give me all the details here, though, because this is sounding too good to be true. I hear all these teenagers on the internet, they telling me I'm going to be rich. Listen, so I'm going to make this full circle for you, okay? But this is the reality of the situation. All right. This is called selling a put, a cash secured put. So what's happening here is we are saying we are willing to buy SPY, the ETF SPY, for $515 in 7 days from now. For that, we're going to collect that $430. Obviously, the market's open, so it's constantly changing, right? We're going to collect that up front. Few things can happen. 7 days from now, if SPY drops to $515, you're going to have to buy it. You're actually going to have to buy 100 shares of it. Okay, so you will need at least $51,500. Okay, that's why I said in the thumbnail, 200K, or in the headline, right? Because I'm going to show you how you could turn, even if you have a small portfolio, bear with me, because this is going to be very helpful for you. Even if you have only 50 grand, right, or 40 grand, you're going to see how you can actually start producing an income from that. Plus, there's other strategies on this channel, guys, for if you have like only 10,000 or 5,000, take a look at those. But this will still be helpful for you because you could do this on any companies. All right. So you would need $51,500 as collateral. You have to put that on the line, right? Because your brokerage isn't just going to say, sure, we'll buy it, but he doesn't got the money to back it up. Now, for that, you'd collect that $440, okay? Let's see what our return would actually look like on that, right? So this is a simple calculator. We're collecting $440, right? And then we will simply take our collateral, which is $51,500, okay? And you could see we get about a 0.85% return in a week. That's fantastic. That's just about a 4% return in a month. Okay. And in my opinion, that's really good, because the typical FIRE advice is you have $1 million and then you retire on 4% of that $1 million. So 40 grand. Listen, you living on 40 grand, bro. I don't know about you. I'm not living on no 40 grand. Man, 40 grand a month. So for me, right, SPY, right, you would one contract, right, you would collect that $430, okay? And you're putting up that collateral. A few things can happen, right? 7 days rolls around, 7 days, right? If SPY stays above $515, it's above it. It's staying above it. The contract will expire worthless. Your collateral will be handed back to you, your 51 grand, right? And you run the play again and collect more premium. Okay? Stay with me. Second thing that can happen is you will be assigned. You will have to buy your shares at $515. Okay? You will actually have to buy those shares at $515. So your $51,000 will be taken from you, right? And you will be given the shares. Worst case, right? Oh my gosh, now I own SPY. Listen, at the end of the day, SPY, the ETF, if you're a FIRE person, you probably already invest in SPY or VOO and stuff like that, right? Is SPY has always gone up. Now, we don't know if the SPY is always going to go up, but historically it tells us SPY for the most part has always hit all-time highs. And this is why I love running this strategy on like a SPY. And I'll show you some other examples here in a moment, because you're already diversified. You see what I'm saying? You're already diversified. It's a self-cleansing ETF. The crappy companies get taken out, right? And the good ones rise to the top, right? So you're already diversified with a SPY or a different S&P ETF. The reason SPY is good is because it's the most traded, right? So you have a lot of opportunities. Let me show you another example. Let's say 7 days is not something you want to do. You want to just do something monthly. Well, let's go back to sell a put, and I'm going to go 30 days out now. Okay. Now this is more time, right? What happens if we'll do 36 days, right? What happens to our premiums? What happens to our strikes? So let me show you, right? SPY is currently trading at $525. Right? And if let's say we want to, again, buy it at $515. How much are we collecting now? $1,300. $1,307, we'll just say. Right? What does that do? What does that do to our money? Right? We'll just say 1,307. It shoots us up to a 2.5% return. Okay? Which one's better? In my opinion, right? In my opinion, you have to go do your own due diligence. You're an adult. Is if you want to have weekly income, you're better. Your returns will always be better on weeklies. All right. And now the problem with the weeklies is that you don't have as much time on your hands. Okay. Now, when we're selling options, time is usually on our side. We want more time, right? Because things can happen and theta decay, right? And I'm not going to get into all of that because I don't want to confuse you. But more time is better for us, right? A week, like we saw, a lot can happen in a week, right? And like we may have to buy the stocks, which isn't a bad thing. I'm going to show you why it's not a bad thing to own SPY, right? It's not a bad thing to own the S&P 500 by any means, all right? So we collect that 300, but it's about a 2.5% return. Right? If we did the weeklies, you saw we were collecting about a 0.85% return on a week for the same contract, and times 4, just under 4% we were getting. Right? So you have to decide those risks for yourself. This with the monthly, this takes 10 minutes. If you decide to do this on a monthly basis, this takes 10 minutes of your time, set, forget, come back in a month and see what happens. There is management to this as well if you want to be a little bit more active, but it's nothing that takes like a day trader or an options buyer, right? That takes like your whole day staring at charts. That's not what I want to do in my life, and I'm sure that's not what you want in your life, staring at charts all day, okay? So Let me show you another ETF that is very good to do this on, and it's a little bit cheaper, but it's still great. And that is the QQQ. Obviously, this one is tracking NASDAQ, right? Let's go take a look at the options, right? So we sell a put, and we'll go out about 7 days. Now, let's scroll down and see what our premiums are looking like for this, right? So let's just say we look at these 435s, right? We'll go about 10 strikes down, keep it about the same example that we did. 10 share prices, 10 points down. So current share price is right around 445. Let's say we're willing to buy it in 7 days for 435, right? About $10 cheaper. Let's see what that looks like. We're going to collect $467 on that. 467. All of my calculators are free as well. Everything on this content on this channel is free. It's inside of our free Facebook group. Link is in the description. The only thing, fully transparency, that if you want to pay me for anything is one-on-one time, and that is just in our private 1-year incubator that I have. That's something that interests you, that will be down below in the description. But as far as everything else, everything is free inside the Facebook group. Okay, and join us. We're having a lot of fun in there. So our premium here is $467, right? Our collateral now is actually a little bit less. It's $43,500, right? $43,500. Let's go back over here and put that in, $43,500. And look at that. We're getting a return of over 1% now in a single week, okay? For saying we will maybe buy our shares of QQQ. Why? Well, QQQ is primarily just the tech sector, right? While SPY is just the 500 top companies, right? So you have to weigh those risks for yourself. If I had to 100% put my money on something, I would go SPY. Now, the cool thing about this strategy, guys, is you're like, okay, Pete, I'm making an extra $500 a month or $400 a month, whatever it is. Well, what if I need more? What if I want more? Well, you can buy more than one contract. There's nothing stopping you, right? So, for example, if you have a $200,000 portfolio, right, let's say you can actually collect, right, an additional on your 200K. You can collect about $1,800, a little over $1,800 a month with this strategy. Just on this side, we still have a lot to go. I'm going to show you some other cool stuff, right? Before that, you would need to have at least $174,000 in collateral, so under $200,000, and you'd be collecting just a little over 4% return. Now, again, most full transparency, guys, is a lot of options contracts, they expire worthless, right? So that means that you won't actually have to buy the shares, and you'll simply walk away with this premium, and then your collateral's freed up to run the play again. But occasionally you will be assigned and you will have to buy your shares. What happens in that scenario? Okay, so let's go over to SPY, and we'll just use SPY as our example. Let's say you had to keep this kind of really kind of so the numbers don't skew. I'm just gonna assume, let's just say you bought SPY at like 520. Let's just assume 520. So the numbers aren't actually. We'll say 523, because I know some of you in the comments will be like, P, you can't go just bear with me. You'll see why I have to do this, because there's some of you that you know, I need to explain things extra too, because you'll nitpick everything. So we gotta for you types, we gotta do this. All right. So let's just assume you bought it for 523. You bought 100 shares at 523. We actually bought them for 523, but bear with me. 523 is what you bought them for. Okay. So now you are sitting with 100 shares of SPY that you bought for $523 a share. Now what we can do is we can sell calls. Now our collateral isn't our money anymore. Our collateral is the shares, okay? Now what we can do is we can name our price, what we're willing to sell our shares for, okay? So for example, we bought them at 523. Let's say we're willing to sell them at, just again to appease you guys, 528. We'll say 528. Okay, in 36 days. So this 528, right? Look how much we would actually be getting as collateral today if we were going to do this trade. Obviously, these numbers are constantly changing. I think you guys are adults and you know that, right? So this is $1,750 we'd be collecting in premium. So I'm going to put that $1,750, right? We bought our shares. You know what? Some of you might even, I'll just say you bought it at market price just to show you. You bought 100 shares at 525, because I know some of you are just going to, you're those types, man. You're those trolls, I call you. You're the trolls, right? So you purchased them for 525, right? Which is the current market price. Let's just say you bought 100 shares at 525, right? So, all right. So, and then you sold them for 528. All right. Our strike up option is 520. Again, all these calculators are free in the Facebook group. Link is in the description. Our premium return here is now a 3.33% return. That's basically, right, taking the premium and dividing it by the share price times 100, right, which gives us a 3.33% return. That is fantastic, right? Our strike of the option now is $528, right? So if we sell them, right, we made basically $300 of profit on the shares. Now, obviously, the more you sell them for, the more money you make, okay? For a total profit on this trade of $2,000, right? About 4% return here. Now, we can add in, right, because this is the covered call side, right? We can add in our premium that we did when we actually had to buy the share. So $467, right? 467 for a total return in about a 2-month period. Let's just assume 2 months here. We're doing a monthly, right, of $2,500. And that is on one single contract. If you did, 5 contracts, obviously that would be higher for you, okay? And the more contracts you buy, the more collateral, the more money you have, the more income on a weekly or monthly basis, whichever one you decide, you can actually get. So there's additional strategies to this that I want to tell you guys about to get those 5 additional retire early strategies and this one pager that I kind of dissect all of this stuff and everything you need to know. Make sure to drop a comment down below in today's video. I'll respond to every single one of you personally and share with you guys these strategies. This whole channel is about creating this passive income, but actually making it work for us, right? So many people that do fire or retire early strategies, you're focused on the wrong things. You're focused on just saving money. Listen, you would have made absolutely nothing, right, if you just sat on individual stocks for the past year. You'd have been toast, right? I'm in a lot of Facebook groups, Reddit communities where I'm posting. People are freaking out. Should I sell? Should I sell? What should I buy? What do I do? Listen, buying and holding individual stocks is usually not a good thing for retail investors, dumb money that they call us, right? We need to be able to do things a lot smarter. And in my opinion, buying low and selling high, as much as you guys argue with me, is a winning play, at least in my opinion. If you want to learn more about this, make sure to like and follow, subscribe to the channel, guys. Also, if you are somebody that would be interested in a 1-year incubator with me personally, where I take you and hold you by the hand of setting up this kind of portfolio for yourself, right? Make sure you take a look in the description of today's video. That's called our incubator program, and you can learn more about how the whole entire thing looks like. Guys, that is it for today's video. Remember, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.